People have often asked me how I started yoga, and it makes me laugh because I started yoga in a gym. I was in Philadelphia and I went to a class and I just kind of fell into it. And after that I did it off and on, but then I found that it had a real healing power for me. And I was going through a very hard time. My parents, my grandmas who had raised me were very sick and they were in the transition, leaving this life. And yoga was the only thing that kept me steady. And it was the only place I could go to for that hour and a half where I had to turn off my phone, I could be with myself, and if tears dropped in Shavasana, that was fine because I needed to be strong outside of practice. But in practice, I could be vulnerable and I could surrender. Yin yoga, it's a style of yoga where you hold the poses 3 to 5 minutes at least. And I like to call it alert surrender. So it's not like we're just mindless, we're very mindful, but there's a state of letting go and a state of surrender. And that way we can not only get into the deeper tissues of the body and open the body, but we can also get into deeper layers of ourselves. And it gives us time to reflect. It gives us real time to connect with our breath and sit with the breath. Watch the mind without being engaged in the mind. Watch the body breathe and not be the breather. So in a way, it's, I find it like active meditation. Well, my experience with the practice, you know, sometimes people, the first thing they always tell me is I'm not flexible, right? When I say, oh, do you want to practice yoga? I'm not flexible. And I laugh because I didn't have a lot of flexibility. I didn't have any athletic background. I don't even like to run across the street. Unless a car is coming really fast. But what yoga taught me is you can just really be present where you are. So, you know, even if you want to touch your feet, if you're not there yet, you can grab your ankles, you can grab a belt, you can grab something else. So it made me very comfortable with being in my body the way, and accept it the way it was. And then I saw progression. I saw that after a while I could do certain things and it gave me confidence. It gave me more curiosity. Well, if I did that, maybe I can do this. And the thing I had to balance was not being competitive with others or even myself, but really to be present where I was that day and to give myself permission to do what I needed to do that day. So yoga, you know, it's exercised my body, but it's also exercised my mind and my discernment. Like, what do I need? And to be able to follow my intuition. I love the possibility of teaching someone how to heal themselves. I love the possibility of reminding someone of the best of themselves, to be grateful, to find contentment, to find self-love, even with the cracks that we might find in ourselves, the little warts or the things we don't like, to still kind of even love that part of ourselves. And to give people, I don't know, the opportunity to just remember that the world is a beautiful place, even though sometimes there's obviously some negativity. But sometimes we can get so wrapped up in that we forget to just take that yoga breath and just be in our own light. And all of a sudden it feels like that light is literally, like we say namaste, that light is reflected in both of us, and we just have that moment of connection. And again, I just have gratitude that that's my dharma. People ask me where I'm from because they can't figure me out. I was born in Jamaica to a Jamaican father and a Cuban German mother. So, you know, I have quite a mix. I haven't even done my DNA yet, but I will, because I'm sure I have more things in there. And I came here when I was very young to Miami. I was around nine-ish. And I lived here for a long time, and then I moved to Philly for a while, which is where I first did yoga at the gym. And then I moved to New York, and there I did performance art. And I almost think that being on stage, I was in a few independent films and stuff. And when my grandmothers started getting sick, I moved back to Miami. I got involved with the yoga center in the Gables. And there was, you know, in a way my grandma's brought me to yoga. You and gave me this life. So I'm very grateful to them. Because I don't know if I would have come back if it wasn't for them and found this amazing path.